Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with executives of two public companies. First up is LOBO EV, a pioneering OEM and ODM manufacturer and seller of electric vehicles, including e-bicycles, e-mopeds, e-tricycles, and electric off-highway four-wheeled shuttles, tailored for various demographics, including mobility solutions for the elderly and disabled. Beyond vehicle manufacturing, LOBO offers automobile information and entertainment software development services to industry OEMs. The company has a proven track record of leveraging advanced technologies in connectivity, multimedia, interactive systems, and artificial intelligence to enhance user experience with affordable, convenient, and enjoyable driving solutions. We'll learn more when we speak with the independent director later in the show. Up next is Nexalin Technology, a pioneering medical technology company focused on addressing the global mental health crisis through innovative neurostimulation devices. Nexalin's products, which include the Gen 2 and newly introduced Gen 3 Halo Clarity devices, are non-invasive and utilized advanced frequency-based stimulation to target deep brain structures associated with various mental health disorders. These disorders include, but are not limited to, depression, anxiety, insomnia, PTSD, and traumatic brain injuries. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Now, before we get to the first interview, our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. Invest in something you can get your arms around and be very conservative. Own enough stocks so that you are not putting all your eggs in one basket. This quote comes from Dave Maley, fund manager of Ariel Discovery Fund, and it is featured in Chapter 5 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with LOBO EV. Hello, today we have with us Harry Schulman, Independent Director of LOBO EV. Harry, thanks for being with us again.
Thanks, Craig. Always good to see you and catch up.
LOBO has been making waves in the electric mobility space, particularly with e-bikes, e-trikes, and off-highway electric vehicles. Harry, what differentiates LOBO from its competitors in this rapidly growing market?
Well, as we said during our IPO and afterwards over the last 7 months, we invested our IPO capital into expansion of capacity in the company. And the differentiator really is around 4 things. Number 1 is innovation. LOBO is a very innovative company, spending a lot of its time in product development, mostly in-house, and has developed some exciting new products that are being well accepted in the marketplace, such as the 3-wheel tricycle with solar power, powering the lithium battery. Also, quality. The company produces great quality at a great cost and has on-time delivery, which is a big thing for our distribution network around the world.
You know, we talked about the rapidly growing market. How big is the market?
Well, there's varying numbers, but this is a market that's growing at double-digit CAGR numbers in the 10 to 15% range, depending upon the country that we're talking about. And we're talking, in the $30 to $50 billion range for the whole markets that we serve. We see continued growth and opportunity and expansion with our distributors, not only with existing customers, but with new customers.
You know, you had that fresh capital from your NASDAQ IPO earlier in 2024, and you've been able to significantly expand your production capacity to meet that growing demand. What can you tell us about those expansion initiatives?
Well, those were the first dollars spent post IPO to double the size of our operation in China in Wuxi, where the two-wheel bikes are being made, and also in our Tianjin location, where we make everything from four-wheel off-road to three-wheel tricycles. And that capacity increase has given us the opportunity to take more orders and deliver more product. We're still growing into the capacity, and we are very excited about continuing to fill the space. As we said in a press release this past week, we've seen revenue expansion of over 100% as a result of our ability to produce and ship these goods.
Another bit of good news, Harry, has been you're gaining traction in the South American market. For example, Lobo opened a new office in Suriname earlier in 2024 to better serve the region. What are your expectations for growth in South America?
South America is a very important area for Lobo and for its growth in the short term and medium term. We opened in Suriname to help with our logistics and distribution for our customers. Ecuador, our distributors there have given us earlier this year our largest order. And Brazil, our distributor, our main distributor, visited our factories in May. And after visiting other factories which they were buying from, they consolidated all of their activities into Lobo. And as a result, shipments into Brazil have really grown for us. And we see a continuation of that. Also in Chile, we are growing, and we are continuing to look at the rest of South America. And we're very, very excited about where we're going in the growth phase.
Harry, management, of course, it's key to the success of smaller cap companies. What can you tell us about some of the key players guiding Lobo?
Yeah, our leader, Jim Shu, has done an amazing job of putting together a great team and leading this team to continuing to develop, to produce quality at great cost and on-time delivery. And the team that he's put together, well experienced. They have a great culture that works to create this type of environment where we're able to grow, to innovate, and to deliver products on a great quality and on time.
Okay, Harry, let me put you on the spot here. What is the essential value proposition, and why should an investor take an interest in Lobo right now?
Well, Lobo's a small player in a huge market. Certainly competes against larger competitors, but we don't see ourselves competing against them. We're competing in a marketplace with very specific and innovative products. And the ability to be virtually debt-free and being able to reinvest our capital and leverage the capital to create great returns on that capital, and being demonstrated by our ability with the increased capacity that we've had to see the results in the first 6 months, and what we see as the second half of this year, where we forecasted over 80% growth, and into 2025 are really exciting times. So our ability to leverage our capital and our human capital is something that it's just a great time to be an investor in Lobo.
It is a really amazing story, Harry. Thank you for refreshing it with us today.
You're welcome, Craig, and always a pleasure, and I appreciate having you ask these great questions about our company.
Now, to get more information on Lobo EV, visit loboevinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RED-CHIP to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Lobo EV. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip's CEO featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy today on Amazon for just $18. Now, let's move on to our next interview today with Nexalin Technology. Hello, today we have Mark White, CEO of Nexalin Technology, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker NXL. Mark, welcome back.
Good to see you, Craig.
Now, Mark, for those who may not be familiar with Nexalin, please start by giving us an overview of what your company does and what sets you apart, especially in the field of mental health and neurostimulation technology.
Okay, so first of all, you touched on it, mental health. Everybody knows somebody struggling with some type of a mental health issue, whether it's our children with attention issues, whether it's our parents with Alzheimer's, dementia, whether it's us, our friends studying with anxiety, depression, insomnia. We've got addiction. We've got military personnel struggling with traumatic brain injury and suicide. Basically, the problem is we have a global mental health epidemic. Currently, as everybody is well aware, the standard of care is medication. Now, there's a time and a place for medication, but it's not all the time, every time. There are issues that everybody is well aware of with medication called side effects, risk, dependency, perhaps most importantly, lack of response, or in other words, only about 40% of the population that takes medication actually gets the true benefits it was originally designed for without the side effects and the risk. And what Nexalin is doing is using the word you gave us was neurostimulation. So your brain is full of billions of neurons. That's how it works. And what we are in the business of doing is stimulating those neurons with its language, which is frequencies, so that we can literally promote or evoke a response in the brain towards health and wellness, non-invasively, without any detectable feelings, no discomfort, no risk, no side effects, and perhaps most importantly, you can do it in the privacy of your own home without going to the psychiatrist's office, because our technology is FDA cleared. It is a medical technology, but it is prescribed and monitored through a digital virtual clinic. So just imagine telehealth, teledoc, telepsychiatry. Imagine that on steroids in what we call the Nexalin Virtual Clinic. We believe that Nexalin is the future of mental health treatment in all the areas that I just mentioned. And we've been able to step out of the clinical psychiatric model and step into the privacy of your residence and offer a safe and effective treatment that 90% of the time will resolve your issues with all the areas of mental health challenges I mentioned.
Now, Mark, your recent clinical trials on major depressive disorder, they showed significant improvements when using Nexalin's technology in combination with antidepressants. Now, share with us more about those trial results and what it could mean for the treatment of depression.
So basically, let the consumer decide, do you want to take medication or not? And what Nexalin did is we performed a clinical trial. We put 70 patients into a group. All 70 took Lexapro, half got Nexalin, half got sham treatment, not an active treatment, fake treatment. The active group not only responded in 2 weeks instead of 6 weeks, but instead of responding at 40%, 35%, the response was close to 60%. So we almost doubled the response in a positive way with the patients, and we decreased the patient response time from 6 weeks to 2 weeks. So now you can decide, I want to go drug-free, I want to reduce my dosage, reduce my side effects, and do Nexalin and the medication, your choice.
You have seen some very important countries approve your technology, among them China and Brazil. Talk about the significance of those approvals and what does it mean for the global expansion of Nexalin?
That's right. So it's a global strategy. While we're developing our FDA clinical trials working in the United States, we started overseas, started in China. We cleared for depression and insomnia. We'll start distributing in 2025. We also then went into the South America model. We started in Brazil, and we'll start to work into the other countries in South America. We also produced that same type of model in the Middle East, where we started in Oman, and we'll now start stepping into Bahrain, UAE, Saudi Arabia, etc. That way we're running literally, because this is a global mental health epidemic, we're running a global model while we develop the United States and Europe as our two primary markets.
Speaking of the U.S., you're working here with the FDA toward clearance of your virtual opioid treatment model, Mark. Share with us the progress in this area and tell us about the potential impact on the opioid crisis.
All right. Quickly, addiction is a brain-based disease. We all agree on that. Currently, when you go to treatment or you go to a recovery house, the only thing you do is sleep and eat and talk. There's no actual treatment for the brain. What Nexalin is doing is using a brain-based treatment to restore the health of the brain before the addiction came into place. And because of the fact that all of our technology can now be prescribed and monitored through a digital virtual clinic, you no longer have to go away to treatment. You can actually be part of a virtual medication-assisted program, and we're working with some collaborators to take the treatment out of the hospital and put it in the privacy of your home so you can continue to work. You can continue to receive treatment in the privacy of your home, but most importantly, you're getting brain-based treatments instead of talk therapy.
Mark, every time you and I talk, including now, you and I talk about the global mental health epidemic. Obviously, the global mental health treatment market is growing rapidly. Projections are in the billions over the next decade. Talked about it before, but I just want to hear more, and I think our viewers do too. How do you plan to capitalize on the market opportunity, and what should investors know about your strategy?
Okay, when we talk about a global strategy, first of all, we're not going to try to run our global marketing distribution out of one office in the United States. More specifically, what we do is we identify partners in these respective countries and respective governments that are familiar with their society, familiar with their healthcare, familiar with their payers, so that they can actually take our technology and work in partnership with us. So we're partners, not manufacturer distributor. That's where you get into trouble. If you work in a partnership model, you can actually go into these various countries and get your partners to strategize on regulatory strategies, distribution strategies, treatment strategies, etc. And this way, we don't need to be an expert in every market we go into. In fact, quite the opposite. We partner with experts in the respective countries, respective governments, respective medical communities. That's the model in short.
Wrapping up now, Mark, in a nutshell, why should an investor take an interest in Nexalin right now?
The future of mental health treatment is not medication. We all know there are problems. We could go on for 30 minutes. We know that the future of mental health and other types of health issues is going to be digital medicine. The future of mental health treatment is the ability to treat the brain in a non-invasive, safe, and effective way without any risk, side effects. And the most important part of that is close to 90%, and our data shows in published clinical trials between 75 and 90% positive response for the reduction of the primary mood disorders. So when we talk about what's the opportunity, we're talking about the future of the mental health treatment model. We're talking about a proprietary technique that's been patented and has 32 patents in the pipeline. This is the future. Get on board.
Thanks for the update, Mark.
Have a great day.
Now, to get more information on Nexalin Technology, visit nxlinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Nexalin Technology. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for just $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met LOBO EV, stock symbol LOBO on the NASDAQ. LOBO EV is a pioneering OEM and ODM manufacturer and seller of electric vehicles, including e-bicycles, e-mopeds, e-tricycles, and electric off-highway four-wheeled shuttles, tailored for various demographics, including mobility solutions for the elderly and disabled. Beyond vehicle manufacturing, LOBO offers automobile information and entertainment software development services to industry OEMs. The company has a proven track record of leveraging advanced technologies in connectivity, multimedia, interactive systems, and artificial intelligence to enhance user experience with affordable, convenient, and enjoyable driving solutions. Learn more at www.loboevinfo.com. Then you met Nexalin Technology, NXL, on the NASDAQ. Nexalin Technology is a pioneering medical technology company focused on addressing the global mental health crisis through innovative neurostimulation devices. Nexalin's products, which include the Gen 2 and newly introduced Gen 3 Halo Clarity devices, are non-invasive and utilize advanced frequency-based stimulation to target deep brain structures associated with various mental health disorders. These disorders include, but are not limited to, depression, anxiety, insomnia, PTSD, and traumatic brain injuries. Learn more at www.nxlinfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small cap stock portal in the industry. Every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small cap companies. And go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies, so please, always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting, emerging growth companies.
The global e-bike, e-tricycle, and e-scooter market was estimated at a combined $28 billion in 2023 and is expected to surpass $39 billion by 2028. Meet LOBO EV on the NASDAQ, symbol LOBO. LOBO EV is well positioned for strong growth with new contracts and increased production capacity. LOBO EV now selling its innovative EVs in Asia, Europe, and Latin America. LOBO EV on the NASDAQ, stock symbol LOBO. As many as 3.8 million concussions occur each year, and almost half of concussions that occur go undetected and untreated. A $40 billion problem. Now, Oragenics, stock symbol OGEN on the NYSE, is developing a potential game-changing new therapy for the treatment of concussions. Dr. James Kelly, a world-renowned expert on concussions and a frequent advisor to the Department of Veterans Affairs, is leading Oragenics' clinical trial. Oragenics, OGEN. What is an isotope, and why should investors care? Isotopes are a type of atom, the smallest unit of matter. Isotopes are a critical element in quantum computing, AI, next-generation semiconductors, and vital to our national security. Meet ASP Isotopes, a NASDAQ company, stock symbol ASPI, producing and processing enriched isotopes. New tech, high tech, better tech. Over 100 million in contracts. Undiscovered until now. ASP Isotopes, symbol ASPI.
Parkinson's disease is a brain disorder that causes unintended or uncontrollable movements when the neurons die. Experts estimate 1 million people in the U.S. have Parkinson's disease. Now a company called BioV, stock symbol BIVI, has developed the first new treatment for Parkinson's in 50 years. Led by the former chief strategy officer for Merck, the company, after strong phase 2 data, is set to begin a phase 2B trial. BioV, stock symbol BIVI on the NASDAQ. Undiscovered until now.